Most people believe Muslims reject Jesus. They think Muslims deny him, ignore him, or oppose everything he stood for. But what if I told you that loving Jesus is required in Islam, that a Muslim cannot be a Muslim without believing in Jesus, and that Jesus, peace be upon him, is honored in Islam in ways most people have never been told? This is the truth no one explains. This is why Muslims love Jesus more than you think. In today's world, Islam and Christianity are often shown as enemies. Different scriptures, different beliefs, different histories. But when it comes to Jesus, the reality is far more complex and far more beautiful. Islam does not erase Jesus, Islam embraces him. In fact, rejecting Jesus removes a person from Islam entirely. This is not opinion, this is core belief. In Islam, Jesus is known as Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary. He is one of the greatest messengers ever sent by God. The Quran describes him as a sign for humanity, a mercy from God, a word from Allah. And his mother, Mary, holds an unmatched status. She is the only woman mentioned by name in the Quran. An entire chapter, Surah Maryam, is named after her. This alone challenges the idea that Islam disrespects Jesus. Here is a truth rarely discussed. A Muslim must believe in Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, Solomon, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them all. To reject any one of them is to reject God's message. Islam does not ask Muslims to choose Muhammad over Jesus. It commands them to honor them all. Muslims believe Jesus was born without a father, a miracle created by God. Mary was pure, chosen, protected. The angel Gabriel announced a birth that defied nature. This belief did not come from later traditions. It is written clearly in the Quran. Just as God created Adam without parents, he created Jesus without a father. For Muslims, this does not make Jesus divine. It makes him miraculous. Jesus performed extraordinary miracles. He healed the blind. He cured the leper. He raised the dead. He spoke as a baby. But the Quran makes one thing clear. Every miracle happened by God's permission. In Islam, miracles are signs of God's power, not proof of divinity. Moses split the sea, Abraham survived the fire, Jesus healed the dead. All were servants of the same God. This is where confusion often turns into conflict. Muslims love Jesus, but they do not worship him. Why? Because Jesus himself worshiped God. He prayed. He bowed, he submitted. Islam follows the same message taught by all prophets: worship one God alone. To Muslims, worshiping Jesus would go against what Jesus himself preached. This is not rejection, it is consistency. Islam teaches that Jesus was not killed, not defeated, not abandoned. Instead, God saved him. The Quran states that it only appeared so. This belief is not meant to offend, it is meant to honor Jesus by declaring that God protected his messenger. And Muslims believe Jesus is still alive. Islam teaches that Jesus will return near the end of time, not as a new prophet, but as a follower of the same truth. He will restore justice, defeat falsehood, and bring clarity to confusion. This belief exists in Islamic tradition over 1400 years ago. Jesus is not finished in Islam. His story is still unfolding. Whenever Muslims mention Jesus, they say, "Peace be upon him." They teach their children about him. They name their sons Isa. They love his mother. They wait for his return. This is not hatred. This is love with reverence and boundaries. The world has been told a simplified story, but the truth is deeper. Muslims do not reject Jesus, they honor him, they believe in him, they follow his moral teachings, and maybe understanding this truth is not about changing beliefs, but about changing hearts.